Mm. Okay. Come on. Good evening. Oh, I'm starting to like things are starting to skip already. It's just been the oh my god, the culmination of a very long weekend. Welcome to another edition of The Ghost and the Goat. I'm your host, Buddy Thayer, paranormal investigator, here to welcome you to join me and walk through the fields of the paranormal. On our way into the fields of the paranormal, of course, we might happen to a hockey arena in Italy, or we might happen into like a baseball field right now in Florida. Um, Not much of that. There's not much going on with sports. My beloved Dolphins got rid of Tyreek Hill this week. Ba-bum, bye-bye, scumbag. I mean, he's a great ball player and all. I'm sure he's a great father. He's got like 25 children. But dude, he was a. Are you so sad to see the cheetah leave, buddy? For his speed when he could play, yes, and didn't cry like a baby. But that was only for like the first year of his, like what, 3-year career here in the Dolphins. So goodbye, later. Take your high-end contract and all your bullshit and go somewhere else and go fuck yourself. Sorry to get the show going with a little swear here. I'm having a rip-roaring day, boys and girls. I'm having a rip-roaring weekend. If you're not from the New England area, as I am, then you don't know that we get hit by the number one, the biggest blizzard of like all time. My whole life, all I've ever heard was, "Oh, the blizzard of '78, all the snow we got. I had to abandon my car on Route 95, and da, 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 da." No, and I wasn't alive then, so I could. That's all I've heard my whole life. This weekend, we had the blizzard of 26, and it blew the barn doors off the blizzard of 78. Blizzard 78 saw 28.6 inches at the TF Green Airport down there in Warwick. This one, about 37 and a half god awful fucking inches of snow are laying out there in Smithfield, holding my vehicle hostage, which is very difficult. I have one shovel. I was waiting for somebody all day. We're supposed to come all day. Hey, dude, I'll be there later today. I'll bang you guys out. You'll be good to go. Yeah, I hope to get to work today by 3 o'clock. Guess what didn't happen? Buddy didn't get to work again, which kind of sucks because now I got to use that friggin' precious vacation time to make up or work 2 doubles in a row, which is probably what I'm going to do. Not a bad deal. I don't have a bad gig. I work with a bunch of great people. I'm a case manager with the mentally ill adults. So I'll throw some snowballs. We'll have a little bit of a snowman. It'd be a great time. A great time was had this past weekend when not only the U.S. women's hockey team, but the U.S. men's hockey team. Holy shit, we finally showed up, guys. 46 years since we secured the gold for the boys in hockey, and we beat the Canadians. Hey, and I mean, it's just basically the NHL, a little bit more broken up. We were playing with New York Rangers. We were playing with the kid from Jersey who won the game there. The kid with the missing teeth. I can't remember his name. Really great game. Really went down to sudden death overtime, 3-on-3. Holy shit. Better than the Miracle on Ice. Better than that shit that happened in the 70s. Happened again twice now. And then in baseball news, my beloved Red Sox did start the spring training or spring training games last Saturday, beating the Twins, and then they beat the Toronto Blue Jays. Our lineup looks pretty okay. I'm a little bit happier than I was earlier, like in the beginning of last season, where our lineup was, I wasn't sure. While we did get rid of Bregman, I don't know. I don't think it will be a problem. I'm probably shitting myself, and by like the end of May, I'll be cursing these guys. But that's baseball's a very long season, and we got a lot of shit to go through. If you want to, just a total disclaimer, guys. If you want to comment on the show, I notice a lot of weeks I'll look at the show again after I listen to myself in the headphones talk for about an hour and a half. I'll go back and rewatch the show. I'll see a lot of people commented in my Facebook that I don't see in the chat room during the show. If you want to comment and say, "Hey, buddy, the Patriots in the Super Bowl 46 fucking times in the chat room," and you want me to see it, dude, do it in the Get Hornet page on Get Hornet on Facebook. Just GETHAUNTED, Get Hornet. Go there. You'll see my face playing. You'll boop, 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 in the comment box. It'll pop up here in the chat room, and then we can talk shit live instead of after the show, Jeff Ahern. Or Aaron Sangaroli, whichever one it may happen to be. You guys, like, holy shit, they blanketed. It was way more than 46, guys. It was like 152. Buddy, the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Buddy, did you know the Patriots in the Super Bowl? The whole friggin' show. If I would have seen it, I would have put every single one of them up there. I'm getting all excited. I'm choking. I'm getting flustered talking about the Patriots. They fluster me. So anyway, moving on. The United States did secure 33 medals in the Olympics. The Red Sox are on to their title, their World Series title this season. They're going to completely destroy the stupid Yankees. And this guy is going to, I have a guest on this evening. He's coming to us he's 15 or 16 hours ahead of us, I think. So he's coming to us in about 5 or so minutes. In this time, I'm going to talk to you, as I will each and every week for the next, God knows, probably 6 weeks at least, about the charity event that I'm hosting with my boys, Three Dudes Brews. This is my other podcast. We do beer. We talk about beer. We go to breweries. We love beer. Another thing we love is this lovely man right here. So while his hat selection is absolutely abysmal, he's a great guy. His name is Mark Ambrose. You can see him at almost any or every craft brewery from like here to Norton, Massachusetts, and everywhere in between. So his thing was always to take selfies with people and put them on social media. Hey, I'm here with this guy. Blah, blah, blah. Nice to meet you. Hey, I'm here having this beer with this guy. Da, da, da. For years, you would it was like almost like a Where's Waldo. So being the fun beer charity raising money guy that I am, I go to Mark like last year. I'm like, hey, dude, look, we got to make this. We could make this into like a charity, dude. How about this, Mark? You do it. We'll take you places, and then you pick the charity, and we'll post like hints and shit. And so that's what we started, the Mark Ambrose Bingo. So if you're from the Rhode Island or the Massachusetts area, or even the Connecticut area, or even outside the New England area, buddy, I have no chance of getting to these breweries, but I want to donate some money to the Ronald McDonald House, and this is a good way to do it. Do it through our charity, because all the proceeds are being split 50-50 with the winner of the bingo. So say you to get a bingo, you got to get, a straight bingo. So either diagonal, up and down, left and right, whatever. This is not an updated BTW card. Crafted Hope is closing this weekend, and we installed Arcane Meadery and Winery, which is a very nice place in Providence. Jake and Jamie own it. They're two lovely gentlemen. Okay, so anyway, first person to claim the straight bingo, boys and girls, will notify us at Three Dudes Brews and say, hey, I got a bingo. We'll confirm it, because every one of these bingos has a number, and we know your number. We know who has what number and what card and all that. And all of your selfies that you take with Mark at any of these participating breweries has to be post-dated after March 1st. If you try to submit a selfie with Mark from February of this year or from March of 2015, it's not going to count. I'm going to take it as you're trying to cheat, like the Yankees who cheat. I don't like cheaters. So or the Patriots rather, who cheat. I don't like cheaters. And even though I cheat at almost everything, and I will disqualify you. And because you're cheating a cheater, you're cheating a charity. And who you're trying to cheat kids and families out of money. We're raising money for these people. So whether you want to play bingo or not, you got to have the legitimate, not legit. That's a shitty word. Legitimate selfies of yourself and Mark in each one of these participating locations around Massachusetts and Rhode Island. And say, hey, bingo. When you get bingo, we bingo until we get a winner. So all these, you're going to split 50-50 with the charity. This is what you basically what you're going to do. You're going to get your bingo card, your CAD, and you're just going to, hey, I got a selfie here. I'm going to X out one off. Hey, I got a selfie here. Blah, 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 blah. And you're going to save all the selfies and then submit that to us at Three Dudes Brews via any of our socials, via any of our socials, via our website, via our email addresses. Three Dudes Brews. Again, Crafted Hope is out because they're closing this weekend. Big tearful goodbye to Kyle Toasty and everything you've done for the craft beer community and for us. He put my face on a beer can. That's like one right off the bucket list, boys and girls. I cannot top that ever. I mean, like that. I mean, unless somebody else wants it. But by the way, if anyone wants to put my face on a beer can and sell it, I'm all for it. Let's do it, boys and girls. Anyway, that's what I got going on. So check that. You can find out. You can find your bingo cards and everything bingo related at eventbrite.com. Mark Ambrose Bingo. Three Dudes Brews are the facilitators of said bingo. So check that out, please, and thank you. Now to a deader side of things. Joining me, as always, my lovely and talented co-host, Jai. Jai, welcome, dear. How you doing this week?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I am not great. I am frustrated by the weather. I'm frustrated by the 3.5 feet of fucking snow outside. I'm frustrated.
I've seen
French. I'm frustrated by no plows being around. I do have power, so that's kind of
that's
nice. I'm
good.
frustrated that I don't have any beers.
Right.
I guess it's just a
Can't
little
get
lazy.
to the store.
I can't get to the store. I can't even freaking get to work. I just want to go to work tomorrow,
Right.
and I can't even get my truck out of the yard. Oh, they're killing me. They're killing me. Yeah. And being an essential worker, people were still getting tickets for going out. So I'm like, what do I do? So I just waited it out and figured I'd be fine. Yeah, no, it's still a clusterfuck. It's still a mess. I was supposed to get another like 12 to 20 inches on Monday. Like, come on, leave me
Yeah,
alone. I know
I've heard
we've
about
had a
it.
good run with winters. Like growing up, this is how winter was for me. It was over
You
in the
there?
last 5 years, so I feel like I've been
Okay.
spoiled a little bit. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got going on. Joining us this evening. Total disclaimer, by the way, boys and girls. If I do go full frozen, and you can still hear me, throw it out there in the private chat or the chat room. Try, and I will continue to talk, and we'll just look at my frozen face. I'm hoping this week it's not me like with last week. I think I was frozen, and it was like a huh? Like the whole show. So I hope it's not that. I hope the computer freezes with me like a hey or a joyful smile or something. Something different. I don't know. I just hope it doesn't freeze at all. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. So I'm looking right now for our guests um intro as I talk slowly as my phone comes on and I wait. Again, the internet pisses me off every time. Hold on. I'm gonna have this very soon. It's coming to us soon. No, that's not it.
I'm moving back to Massachusetts.
Oh, really? When are you coming
Yes, I
home?
am.
When-
Probably April.
Nice. What part of Mass are you gonna reside in?
North, north. Well, it's west. I think it's. I don't know what part is what. I just know it's the north side of Fall River.
Oh, the Riv. That's a van down by the Riv. That's my podcast channel. That's lovely.
Right. Right.
It's a good Fall River is total disclaimer, folks, if you don't know Fall River. Fall River is a beautifully historic city. It has a lot of culture. I love the Portuguese festivals, that amazing food.
Hmm.
However, it does have a certain crime element in the city of Fall River, which is kind of scary at times. My original co-host Brendan used to live in or Bams, if you will. He used to live in Fall River, and every night when he came home, like from work after working in the psych hospital, he'd get home, he'd park in front of his house. He's like, dude, I'd smoke a few cigarettes, I relax, and then I go in. He's like, this one night, I just like, he's like, yeah, I'm just tired, I'm exhausted, I just want to get in, take a shower, pass out. That's the night he did, and that's the same night a drive-by went by and shot up his car. He would have died if he was sitting in the car.
Oh,
So,
wow.
total disclaimer. I hope it's a nice area of Fall River. There are,
It is. It is.
but you just like any other city in America, you just got to know your neighborhoods. So I'm happy to see that you're coming back to this side of the Hudson River, and maybe we can do some ghosty stuff when you get home.
Sounds good.
Sounds good, lady. Okay, joining us this evening. Wow, this is when I first booked this guy, I'm like, wow, you gonna really be able to come on, dude? Are you guys like a 20-hour difference? But anyway, he's a lifelong passion for all things paranormal. He has been in the field of paranormal research for 39 years and has been fortunate enough to investigate paranormal phenomena across the world, including the USA, here in the USA, and in the UK. Along with his wife, Amanda, APS, he is co-founder of the Australian Paranormal Society, APS, formed approximately 15 years ago. He acts as the director of the organization. It has a very... Whoa, quiet, you... Hold on. I'm sorry. I have alarms. I got a dog. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm going to just keep going on because like anything else. There we go. Stella, shut up. Okay. Fucking dog. Okay. Hold on. Are you done? Are you done? Are you done? Oh my God, this is just my week. I'm sorry. Through a great deal of hard work, the APS has been able to build a network of contracts across the globe, which assists in the... Oh my God, I need something to throw at this dog. Assists with the oh God, I'm sorry. I totally lost my... Which assists in their work to help people in need. Bill and Amanda are both authors and have appeared on many TV and radio programs. What the fuck? And shut up! Oh my God, I hate this. Oh my God, and I'm lost again. I'm sorry. This is like the worst intro of all time. I'm sorry, Bill.
Many TV programs was the last
okay.
thing you said.
I'm all right. Sorry. The last paragraph. Oh, Jesus Christmas. Along with his wife, Amanda, he is co-founder of the Australian Paranormal Society, formed approximately 15 years ago, and is the active director of this dedicated organization with a very experienced team of researchers and investigators, and are very well respected in the field. Through a great deal of hard work, the APS has been able to build a network of contracts across the globe, which assists in their work to help people in need. Bill and Amanda are both authors and have appeared on many TV and radio programs, in many books and magazines regarding the paranormal. They believe in educating the public to bring the paranormal into the mainstream of society by being open and using media and events to build an educated understanding of our field. Amen, brother. Apart from research and investigation work, the APS run events including public investigations, haunted history tours, my man, workshops, and are active on the local lecture scene in Australia and other countries like the USA and the UK. Bill and Amanda have a family of 5 children, all of which are involved in the field in some way. Please welcome to the show. Oh my God, Bill Tabone. Tabone?
Well done, mate. Well done.
Oh, dude, it's been a shit show of the last 2 days. I apologize for completely butchering your introduction.
You'll find that. What did W.C. Fields say? Never work with children or animals. So there you go.
Right. Right. My mother's stupid dog. I want to kill her. So Bill, you've been doing this for quite some time now. 39 years. What first pulled you in, dude? What first pulled you in?
I would say I can't remember where it started. I've had this fascination with all things sort of strange and unusual, ghosts, spirits, UFOs, all sorts of things since before I can remember, and it sort of kept going. And then I got to a point where I thought, you know what, and this is all before the internet and everything. So I was 19, and I grabbed a couple of mates and I said I want to do a ghost hunt, and we called, as I called it then, and we went to a local cemetery and had a old VHS camera that had the big box you carry with it and all that sort of stuff. And we had no tools. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. I had no idea what I was doing. And,
I don't think anybody did.
No, and I always say it was an attempted investigation because it was pretty bad, and that's where it started. So I was 19 and haven't sort of was kept to myself for many years, just doing bits and pieces, and then building, and then you start talking to people. I used to write to people. As I said, we didn't have the internet really, and we
I remember writing letters,
read books, send letters, harass people. Nice. Sometimes I get answers, sometimes I wouldn't.
Right, of course.
And that's where it started. So
nice. Bill, let me ask you something. Here in the States, my generation has kind of relied on the vast TV shows. Not that I can say that they kind of piqued my interest a little bit, but it was something that was kind of already going on in my life. So we have all these TV shows, which I think 99% of them are complete. Maybe just entertainment value. We'll just say entertainment value. Okay. Yes. In the UK or in Europe, they have like the Ghost Club. They have things going way back, even further, where scientists and research actually went into this. And maybe that's like a role model for some of the people in Europe that I've spoken to. In Australia, do you have any like foundations of paranormal research that like predate you?
Oh, absolutely. There's some, everything from the Skeptic Society right through to similar to the what's it called? I've gone completely blank now. It's the I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Sorry, mate, I've gone blank. The Centre for Psychical Research, I think that's called, or something along those lines. It's the Australian Centre for Psychical Research. The name eludes me, I'm afraid. But yes, they've been around for many, many years, mate, and I well before me. There's also UFO groups that have been well before me. Right. It's where we start, and then there's these other groups. So we sort of read all their stuff. That's where we sort of get. That's where we get pushed to start. Especially as a youngster when I was. As for shows, TV shows, we have all them, and and a lot of people, they watch those shows and that motivates them to go out and do things. I've been lucky enough to meet a lot of the guys on the shows some of these shows. Brad and Barry Kling from Ghost Lab, way back in the day, good friends of ours. I've been over there many times to do stuff with them, and even stayed. Last time I was there, I was talking at one of their events, and I stayed at one of the houses there. One of the houses, and you build these relationships, and they tell you, like a lot of the shows, they say they're there for 24 hours, but they're there for like a week. They put a lot of time in these guys. They put a lot of time in. I have a lot of respect for them, but they are mainly entertainment. You know what I mean? But they're investigators as well. These guys, and the TV stations want entertainment, and they're trying to put themselves forward to show what they do. People should get motivated by them. I hope people get motivated by them, but I hope they go out and actually do proper study and proper research. That's the big thing for me. Is that people unfortunately don't watch 2 or 3 YouTube channel clips and decide to go and start a team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Of course,
because one, it's you got to know what you're doing. And not just in the spiritual sense, in the physical sense, occupational health and safety. We need to make sure we're not going into buildings that the floor's going to collapse out underneath us, or someone's going to end up breaking their leg by falling, or worse.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of dangers out there that people don't think about before going into abandoned buildings or mines or hospitals, for that matter. So you see, you might say my underbuddy, it's Ghost Guy. So I'm purely a ghost guy. I honestly, if I have anything with the D word, I try and like give it to somebody else. I just want to talk to dead people. While I do believe in UFOs, I've seen a lot of and heard a lot of really good data to back it up. I'm not a UFO guy. I'm not.
Yeah.
I see the paranormal as like a big umbrella, so it kind of
It
covers
is.
like all these areas of the paranormal. Where I just
My God,
investigate
so-
ghosts. Do you do any investigating of any other sorts of paranormal entities like UFOs or Bigfoot or any of that silly stuff?
We have I have people or specialists that we work with in areas. For example, there's a gentleman up in Sydney, New South Wales, which is another state. He's done a lot of work with we call them Yowies. So our Bigfoot are a Yowie. So what we do
Oh,
is
so
we
you
get
guys do have a Bigfoot out there.
yeah, absolutely, and
Oh.
they do the wood knocking and all that sort of stuff. They do the same.
Oh yeah,
things.
really? Oh, cool.
Absolutely. And he's had some amazing experiences. And then I've got other people that are into UFOs. But if we get a case, I would normally bring one of them in and maybe assist. But our specialty is, yes, the ghosts and the spirits and hauntings. Like, for example, my wife, her main work at the moment, she's a great medium. She's been seeing spirits since she was 3. Her
That's
main
awesome.
work at the moment is working on cold cases. So she works with police on cold cases all over the world. So she's done
Really?
Yeah, well over 400 cases from Australia, UK, US, Canada,
That's incredible.
everywhere. Yeah,
That's great.
And
Jesus.
and the thing she does,
Gotta have her on.
the way she does it is she gets these spirits, and she'll somehow the case will come to her, and the police might pass it on, or she might have something comes to her, and so she does her work, and does her medium things, whatever that is. I'm not a medium, but then what she does is she actually gets these spirits to come through a port, one of the portal devices, and she records them answering her questions. So she she captures their voices, right?
Yeah.
And so clear.
And she gets accurate answers as far as like crimes are concerned with the spirit from the spirit world.
100%. She gets some amazing answers. We had a young girl go missing here in our state, in our city, and she's passed on, and she's never been found. But we were told she's never been found. We know where she is, but the police haven't got the evidence to go in and rip this house up. She actually gave us the address, the street name, street number. She described the house, the suburb, everything. And when we went on to Google Earth or whatever it's called, where you see there, she described this little white house with what she calls it a day porch. It's like a sunroom at the front. And this photo that come up was exactly what she described. So that's the sort of detail she gets. The best call she's got from police was after she sent the report for a case she was working on, and the head of New South Wales Police contacted her and said, Amanda, I've got a question for you. She said, yeah, okay. Where'd you get this name from? She said, from my work, obviously, And he said, well, that's never been disclosed to anyone. And he's at the bottom of our list. And my wife, she's very cool. She goes, well, I suggest you put him at the top of your list.
I was just saying we should have her on the show.
Yeah. And he goes, you got my attention. So yeah, so that's her work. That's the main work she does at the moment.
That's awesome. So in 39 years, Bill, what I've been investigating for around 20, but I imagine in 39 you've had twice as many scary experiences or
a lot of experiences. Yeah, I was lucky enough to have access to a lot of really, really good places. Here in Victoria, there's an asylum called Arradale. It was the biggest asylum in the Southern Hemisphere. At one stage, has 63 buildings, massive, like a massive joint, up on this hill out in the country, just near a country town. And as you drive in, you look up, and it's this classic, this asylum on the hill sort of thing.
Oh boy, creepy, yeah.
And I was like, oh mate, I tell you, it's brilliant. If you get over here, we'll take you over there.
Oh my God, dude! If I get to Australia, that would definitely be a pipe dream, my friend. That's
100%. We'll look up
it's definitely on my bucket list. Definitely on my bucket
list. But yeah, that's probably people ask where's the most active place here in Victoria, and I would say that was the most active place. Scary experiences, yes, we had some there. I've had them in a lot of places, but we've had we've had some pretty interesting ones there. I had a 3-foot 3-foot long iron bar thrown at us.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there was.
Wow.
It was. I had another investigator with me. We were in the middle of this one of the big halls. The building was locked. No one else could get in. There was only another couple of people there that were somewhere else. And there was in this building. There's something in there that's very dark and doesn't really like me very much. Right. So we were walking through in the old bathrooms, and then we noticed this bar sitting in the corner, and it was never there before. Well, I've been there many times, and I thought that's interesting. And we're in this big open area, and we hear, you know, when something gets thrown and you get that sound.
Yeah.
This thing came between us. We were a couple of feet apart. Came flying between us. So it was obviously over and crashed over there. So when we went over and had a look, it was this iron bar that was in the bathroom. You know, and no one else was in the building. No one else could get in the building. So that was interesting, but that's not the scariest one. There's a lot more there.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, let me stop you. Let me stop you really quick there for a second, Bill. So, yeah. Spirit or something threw an iron bar at you. Not that I disbelieve you at all. I've seen them throw cell phones. So, like, one spirit can throw a good, probably 5 to 10 pound piece of metal across a room. Another spirit can push me, I'm pushing like 400 pounds. Another spirit can cut me. Another spirit can like poke me on the back, but another spirit can't do any of that. What gives one the power to manifest these kind of actions over another? What are your thoughts?
For sure. Spirit is so the way we look at it, spirit is energy. Spirit is, well, we're talking intelligent spirits, whether they're good or bad, negative or positive. There's an intelligence to them. They're obviously, you have your residuals, which aren't actual ghosts; they're energy only. But spirits are energy. So what happens is energy doesn't get destroyed, but what it does is it can dissipate. It can go elsewhere. So these spirits, when they do something, it takes their energy. So for them to throw an iron bar, it actually went quiet, really quiet after that. So it would have taken all their energy to throw that bar. So sometimes the spirit just may not have the energy to interact. It may also be that they don't want to interact. So they don't want to touch you. They don't want to poke you. They don't want to do anything. They're not sure about you. Maybe they might be that they're anxious or scared or cautious. It can be past experiences. I've seen people, and we don't do it, go in there and provoke and go in and call them pieces of shit and all sorts of things. And to me, that's totally disrespectful. You know what I mean? Unless you're doing a case and there's a spirit that's aggressive and hurting people and you're trying to draw them, sometimes you will be a little bit provocative. But in general, we speak to them with the same respect that I would speak to you guys.
Like you're talking to a person, basically.
Exactly. If someone's abusing me, I don't want to talk to you. Go away. I'm not going to show you anything. Or they may just not have the energy. So there could be numerous reasons why that can happen. I find some spirits are very used to doing this sort of thing. So it's like when you're first starting driving a car, you've got to think about the clutch and the gears and the everything. But when you've been around a long time or you've got the experience, you don't have to. It just happens. So
true.
Same sort of thing. Some can do a lot and some may not because they just might not have that experience.
Fair enough. Jai, I'm going to throw it at you. You got a question for our Australian investigator.
Yeah. What kind of events do you do?
We do.
Can you tell us about it?
I have a couple of locations where we do investigations. We have an old, a couple of them are, one's an old, it's actually an old homestead, but they've actually got a church in there and a schoolhouse and all this sort of stuff as well. And we do an investigation there. I call that our nice place. That's where people that really haven't done anything, they can come there and they're going to have a good experience. It's not aggressive like an asylum or a jail. Another one is we have, you have unions over there, like for people, all sorts of unions. Well, you have a thing called the Victorian Trades Hall, which is the headquarters for all the unions in Victoria. It's the oldest trades hall in the world, operational trades hall in the world. So there's older, but they're not operational. This one's been operational since 1854.
Wow.
And, the funny thing is, I say 1854, like Melbourne was only founded in 1835. So I talk about places where I say it's old, and people look at me and go, it's not old. Like, we've got places from the,
it's old for you guys. It's old for you guys.
It's old for us.
Yeah.
But that's a great old place, and we do stuff there. We have a couple other locations. We also do a historic walking tour, historic haunted walking tour, or ghost tour, whatever you want to call it. So we take you around the CBD and just give you all the stories of all the different places there, which is really, really, there's some amazing places, like I'll tell you a really quick story from the tour. We have a theater called the Princess Theater, and it's one of the big, like you'd see down on like Broadway. It's all the lights out the front, the whole deal, and and there's a ghost in there called Fredericky. Right? Now, Fredericky was actually an English actor called Frederick Baker, and Fredericky was his stage name. And he was doing a play back, I think it was 1880s. I can't remember the date off the top of my head. 1880s, and he was playing the part of the devil. So he come up through a lift underneath, and there was not real fire, but it was like orange streamers and things looking like fire to collect the soul of this man. And he takes the man, he puts him on the lift, and they go down into hell. Right? It sounds like a copy, doesn't it? No.
Delightful tale, I'm sure.
Delightful tale. But he goes down and he hits the bottom, and at that point, he has a massive heart attack and dies. Right? So he's gone. He's finished. They don't have CPR. They don't have the jump paddles or anything. Anyway, the show ends at that point, and everyone's up on stage, and the people all witnessed the cast bowing, and Fredericky was in there with them, right? So his body's dead down there, so that's fine. That was reported, and some people said we saw Fredericky. Now, every time they put a new show on, they see him watching up from the stalls, watching them rehearse. And then when they open on opening night, there's always one seat left for him, right? So he comes back and he makes sure these guys are doing the right thing. He's an actor, but for him to actually keep showing up, and funny thing is, a friend of mine went to a play at this place, and as it started, all the power went off. And the management come out and were saying, they were joking, but they said, Fredericky's playing with the lights. You know what I mean? So it's one of my favorite stories, in that he's still thought of and still respected. But that's the sort of thing we'll tell the tale of. So we go through a bunch of different locations. Yeah. Nice.
So you talk about doing investigations in the UK and the United States. Yeah. Not that I've investigated many places. Well, no, I have. Where in the United States have you investigated?
Well, we a lot of time in Gettysburg.
Oh yeah. Gettysburg. Oh, I love Gettysburg. I try and go there every year, Bill. Just because I'm a history dork, dude. I've never really investigated the paranormal in Gettysburg. I almost did a few, but I go there every year because my state, Rhode Island, has a lot of history there, and I like to honor and cherish it. So go on, please. Tell me about Gettysburg. Tell me about where you've investigated in Gettysburg, Bill, please.
Oh, the orphanage and the Jenny Wade House.
Oh yeah.
We also did a little bit of our own. Well, we had them to ourselves. I booked them out. We also did a little bit sort of out and about just ourselves. At that point, actually, we also investigated. I don't know whether you know. It was called the Fairfield Inn, which is. It's about 8 miles outside Gettysburg in Fairfield. We actually stayed there the first
it's like a bed and breakfast, right?
Yeah. It's called the 1863 or something like that now. They changed the name, and they don't allow paranormal stuff there, I don't think, anymore. But the first 3 times we were there, I was with the Kling brothers, and we investigated that place as well, and we had some great results there. And yeah, we've done a few places around there, little places. But the last time we were there, I had my wife and my youngest son with me. My youngest son is 16 and 6'4". He's a big boy. He's not a baby, you know. But we were getting, and Mandy was seeing. We were stayed at the hotel right next to the Jenny Wade house.
Yep.
I think it's the 1863 Inn or something, and she was seeing soldiers coming through the room and children coming through the room. There was a lot of activity. She just said, wow, you know, like there was so much activity. Other places, we did a bit in Texas just recently. I was at the Yorktown Hospital. We did that. I've spent some time around the Alamo, not in the Alamo obviously, but around the Grand Alamo, Menga Hotel. We did some investigating there. Where else? We did a night tour. We actually did a night tour of because the last time I actually said I had my son and my wife with me. The first time I went on my own. The second time I had my oldest son with me, and then I went with my wife and my son, and then actually I went one time afterwards on my own again. But we did a night tour of Alcatraz, and we we got taken down into the Citadel, so underneath Alcatraz. So
that sounds terrible, Bill.
We've done a bunch of places. Yeah, we've done a bunch of places in there. I love it's a horrible place. Not much.
Yeah, horrible.
I love the United States. I love your history. I love the way you look after history. You preserve these buildings.
I'm a wicked dork for history. I volunteer at a museum here in Rhode Island that has some tremendous history. I'm just like very proud. Not that I'm related to any of these people. Just the fact that they were like that they sacrificed their lives and their souls.
Absolutely.
And they're forever embellished in the history of my state, my country. It's a beautiful thing. You know,
you should be proud. I mean, the history. You know, I always make a joke. We had a rebellion as well. It was 100.
Oh yeah.
I think it was 132 men, and it lasted about 12 hours. But still, there was actually a couple of deaths, and there was the leader got his arm blown off, and he ended up becoming a politician. So there you go.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
You know, but we have other things here that I always say that Melbourne, my home city, is. They say, how come it's only young? How come there's so many spirits? Well, so much has happened in such a short amount of time. Everything's
you know what I mean? They don't have to be from 200 years ago. They don't have to have died in battle. They don't have to be murdered or commit suicide. Exactly. It doesn't have to be any of that shit.
Exactly. But you know, the US, I found, you can like Fort Mifflin. I was lucky enough actually. The first time I went there, I was meeting my mate, and but they weren't going to be there till the afternoon. So I'd arrived the night before, stayed at a hotel. I thought, what am I going to do? And I balanced up Eastern State Penitentiary or Fort Mifflin. I ended up going to Fort Mifflin, and during the day, but there was no one in there. I was on my own. So I went. I don't know whether you know Fort Mifflin. There's like casemates where they go underneath, and it's all underground stuff.
I'm familiar. I actually I had their curator on about a year and a half ago for an interview.
It's an awesome place. It's fantastic. But I had a lot of things happen. I was doing a little investigations in those places because there was no one around. I could do that, and I got some interesting experiences, and I got captured a few things too.
Old forts are tremendous. Tremendous. Here in the States, in Rhode Island, we have the largest fort complex in North America. It's called Fort Adams. It's in Newport.
Yeah, right.
It's gorgeous. Yeah. It's super haunted. I've had so many tremendous experiences there. I recommend if you're ever in the States, come to Rhode Island and go to Fort, and then I'll take you out for beer afterwards. We'll go to Fort Adams. It's a fantastic location.
It feels like fun. Where is it? Fort Adams.
Fort Adams. It's in Newport, Rhode Island.
Newport, Rhode Island, right? Okay, yes.
Write that one down, Bill. It's definitely worth it.
We'll put that
Disembodied voices. They mess with your equipment. People have been poked. All sorts of stuff. It was never like active during any war. It was active, but it was never attacked. Nothing like. But they got these tunnels that go underneath. Holy shit! You can want it. Awesome. I love it.
Trying to find out what's going on down there. It's there's some amazing places over there, and I love that. In the UK, I was I've been there twice. I did bits of the Tower of London.
Nice.
We did an event at Whittington Castle, which is up on the Welsh border. It's this little castle, pretty much in ruins, most of it. We did some interesting stuff there. We had there's a thing in the castles there called a obolette.
Ghosts. That's what you meant.
What they used to do is they used to throw the people down into these basically holes and let them starve to death.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
We're standing over this opening, and there's a grate, and we're just asking questions, and you could hear stones being thrown in this place, bouncing off the walls. Yeah.
Oh, that's great and terrible at the same time, but that's
you want to be down there.
Oh God, no.
The friends that set it up for me, they were very much into the spiritual side of things, so they did like table tipping and all that sort of stuff. And we're down in the bottom floor and got a bunch of people there, and I did my bit and they're doing their thing, and I'm just doing some filming, and we hear up top. Now up top we're up there was a big table and a couple of chairs, nothing else, and no one was up there. And there's only one way up, and it was where we were. You can see the doorway, so no one's been up there. And we hear this table getting dragged across the floor. So I take off up the stairs. The guy's son, he's a man. He's grown up. He was in his late 20s. He come up after me. We walk in there, and this table that was in the center of the room is pushed up against the wall. So Jesus. I wish I had a camera up there. But
oh my God, yeah.
So we had some great experiences there as well. Stayed in some moments.
Hotels. You mentioned the Tower of London. When I think of the Tower of London, I think of 1,000 years of atrocities and torture and death. Do you find in places like that have a different, one, they probably have a different vibe, but do you feel, let's say, a different energy or a different active spiritually than, say, like a hospital or an asylum?
Yeah. I find jails, asylums, which the Tower of London is basically a jail. They attract much darker energy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I find that, you're going to an asylum and you're more likely to have a negative experience, or a jail, a negative experience. So one jail here, we used to hire it out. So we could hire it. I'd take a team in there, usually only 4 of us or 5 of us. And at one point we were sitting in there was an outside shower block. So you can imagine the middle of winter, you got to go have a shower, and it's got walls, but they're all open. So the winter's coming in, and you're having a shower. That's would be fun. But anyway, there's something reported there a lot. Big fella, big nasty fella, and I'm sitting there with my wife. She's right up against me, and it's dark. My daughter, at that stage, is quite a few years ago. My other boys were quite young. My daughter's the oldest, and she went down at the other end of this shower block, which is quite long, and there's a bench running along. So she sat down at the other end, and I had a medium I was working with, and it turns out he wasn't a very nice person, but at the point he was working for us. So he's walking around in the middle, sort of up and down, and I see him, and a lot of things were going on. I could feel this energy, and in my mind, this voice starts, and it's telling me, like, I put protections up. So I don't know what you guys like.
Of course.
So this voice starts, and it's saying to me, and I'm thinking, first off, I think, what the hell? Hey, just kill these guys. Just kill them all.
Jesus.
Get rid of them. Kill them. Kill this sort. And it's just going on and on. I had protections up, so I wasn't losing control.
Right.
But I could feel myself. I felt like I was getting really big, and I'm not a small fella. I'm a heavy set bloke. I'm, over 6 foot, or 6 foot. I tell my sons I'm over 6 foot, but they're all like 3 or 4 inches taller than me. So, it's good when they're little. You can look down on them. Now they all look down on me. Anyway, I felt myself getting bigger. I didn't say nothing. Didn't say anything to anyone. At this medium, I hear him scream like a little girl, and he jumps backwards like one of those movie ninjas. Whoosh, about 5 feet. And I said, "All right, everyone outside." Took him back into the jail, and I just debriefed. I said, "Right, Emily." That was my daughter. I said, "What happened to you?" She goes, "Just the usual. She's fearless, right? She's got no fear. Like she goes, just the usual. They were pinching me on the bum, right? They do in jails, I know, right? I said to this guy, "What did you see?" The psychic guy. He said, "This black figure come out of the ground and went right at my face. That's why I jumped backwards." And I said, and screamed. I said, "All right." He goes, "It scared the hell out of me." All right. And I said to my wife, I said, what did you feel? She goes, and I haven't said what I experienced. And she said, I smelt rotting flesh. And I was writing to her, and she goes, and I felt you getting bigger. So she felt what I was experiencing. So it wasn't just me. It was an energy or a physical thing she felt.
Yeah.
And then I told them what I experienced. So, for her to feel what I was experiencing was interesting. So, but there was something really dark there that was there. On another occasion in the same jail, my eldest son, who's all my kids have got the gift like their mum, and he saw we call him a crawler. I don't know what you guys would call them. They're just a humanoid entity that's sort of down. It crawls on the ground.
Oh, all right, yeah. Like a lower frequency, maybe, or a lower. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, he saw one of them, and he was standing there staring, and I'm watching him. He's staring at this thing, and I said to him, "Well, what are you watching? What are you looking at?" He said, and there was like a mesh. It was on the other side of this mesh in this grass, and he said he used a different word. I can't remember what word he used, and he described it. And I was like, "Crawler, right? Okay." And it must have gone. He goes, "All right," and he went on our way. But there's a lot of dark things in I find are attracted to asylums and jails and such.
Oh, for sure. I used to work in a forensic hospital, so that's like guys who are not competent to stand trial here in the States. We put them in an asylum of sorts, but this is not like any other hospital. It says hospital out front, but there's nothing hospital at all about this building. It's completely jail for all intents and purposes. They have nurses. It's a little softer than the Department of Corrections, but it's still jail. Such like there had been a hospital or this kind of a setting on this property for over 100 years. Such a heavy, holy shit feeling. Just what I worked there for 6 years. I worked on the max unit, so my days were busy. And my days were sometimes dangerous, and I worked with dangerous men. Cool. But that feeling that you get when you walk into a haunted lot, that heaviness, that different vibe. It's not like my grandmother's coming to see me vibe. It's like this guy just murdered 15 people and he wants to murder me, but he's a ghost. Yeah, people would describe like dark masses in the hallway. I never saw anything there. I had a feeling once that I had to run and get the fuck out, and I did. And I wouldn't go back in this building by myself alone. As an investigator, I have no courage. But anyway, it's just a heavier, awful, nasty feeling. And honestly, every day I left that building, I felt like such a weight was being lifted off my shoulders.
Yeah. The energy in those places can be so overwhelming.
I mean, the living are at the absolute worst. And there's so much so that they affect the other living, like people that I would work with couldn't necessarily handle that vibe, and it affect them mentally, physically, all that awful shit. So I imagine how it affects the dead,
Oh, absolutely. They're there all the time. I mean, even psych nurses, nurses in psych and institutions, with normal patients, they're affected. I mean, I've got a relative who was a nurse for many, many years there, and he's a different person than he was. It affects people. So I can imagine.
I had to get away from that shit because it tears at your soul for sure. As an investigator,
that's horrible.
Yeah, it is. As an investigator, Bill, when you go into any given location, what are the tools that you go in with? What are your most trusted? What are you going to bring? Your 5 items that you're going to bring in as tools. What would they be?
Yeah. You know what? I did I've done martial arts since I was really young.
Me too. Cool.
Go with me here. I did martial arts since I was really young. And
That's awesome.
All we wanted when we were younger was to get a black belt. Right?
Yeah.
So you're training, you train hard, you get your black belt, you're still excited. But then you realize that black belt's just a black belt. Right? So when you start, a kick and a punch is a kick and a punch. Yeah. When you get to a black belt, a kick and a punch is just a kick and a punch. You know what I mean? So with the paranormal, the same thing. You start off and you want to have all these gadgets, you want to have all the bits and pieces, all the bells and whistles, right?
Yes.
And when you get to where I am, probably the last 15 years more, all all I take normally when I'm investigating, I'm not running an event or anything, is I take a camera and a voice recorder.
Yes.
Right. So I keep it real simple. The thing is, people have all the gadgets, and they're good gadgets. I've got a guy here, a mate of mine, who runs a company called Spirit Tech. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mate, some of the best equipment I've ever seen. I use that. Right.
Yep.
In our events and in our bigger investigations, with when we've got other people there, we set them up. But for me, a voice recorder and a camera, video camera or still camera, it doesn't matter, or both. Right. My big bugbear with the paranormal, in a lot of cases, these days, not so. I suppose we're getting a lot more devices that record their findings.
Yeah.
Right? But there's still devices that don't, and people spend the whole time looking at this millimeter's not changing or whatever. You know what I mean? What's going on? And they miss all this.
Yes.
I'll give you a really good. I'm full of stories. I got a really good story for you.
I love the stories. That's why you're on, Bill. Keep telling them.
And you wouldn't believe, when I was younger, I wouldn't talk. I was so shy, I wouldn't talk to anyone. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you can't shut me up. So, I had this story. As I said, I'm really got this bugbear about people focusing on the gear too much and watching, not so much using the gear, but set off a lock camera or a lock off camera or something. Use devices that record, so you're not watching that device. Anyway, I had a group of investigators. They were investigators from different teams. Some of them my own guys. Some of them were from teams I knew. It wasn't. It was a tour. I had a tour booked, but I got all these guys to come on, and we just went through the different places and did our own thing. But we're in the Arrowdale Asylum, and we're in the female ward, and they're all got these devices, and they're looking at them. I can't even tell you what they were. Right?
Yeah.
Might have been. It could have been just even K2s. It could have been something else. But they're all like this. And I went, right, stuff it, stop. Put your equipment away. Turn your torches off. We're going to stand here for 5 minutes. We're not going to look at a device, and we're going to take in the environment. I was pissed, right? I'm a quiet guy. I'm a nice guy. I don't get angry like this on things, but I thought, man, you're missing so much. I said, right, stand. And they sort of I had my back towards these big windows. And there was sort of come like this. They sort of come in front and then around the sides a bit on me. And I'm watching them because there was a big moon, a full moon coming through. So it was quite light. I'm looking at these guys' faces, and they're all standing there probably thinking, I want to look at my device, right, or whatever, right? And then I see their faces and their mouths, they sort of look, what? Like, something happened. And I didn't see it, right?
Yep.
So it's like spirits were working with me that day. And I went, okay, stop, right? There's only like a couple of minutes. Stop. What happened? Like, something's happened, because every one of them looked like they were in shock.
Yep.
This spirit, a female spirit in a gown, in a hospital gown.
Yep.
Walked behind me for 3 windows. They could see her.
Oh God.
Right. I didn't.
That's
see her.
awesome.
I was looking the other way.
Wow.
But every one of them saw her, and I'm thinking, like, how the timing on that. These spirits have got to know what we're doing. They got to know. I mean, I've been many times say. They were obviously used to me, but these spirits worked with me, I believe. And these people afterwards were saying, shit, you're right. We're missing on so much. Right. So then they started doing that themselves, like, using lock-off cameras and things like that, rather than focusing on the gadgets. Sometimes you got to check it out. What's
the gadgets I have them, you have them, everybody has them, but they're like for the kids. Everybody likes the bells and the whistles. Everybody likes the in real time verification that you're speaking to maybe a dead person.
Absolutely. You know what? There are. I don't mind. We had an app made for us, which was just basically a sound bank. Right? I don't believe in apps. I don't like apps. So this is just sound. It's not claiming to do anything else. Doesn't even use the internet, right? And we run this through a portal or a speaker, basically. And some of the stuff we get on that are great. We'll use that sometimes when I've got other people with me. When I do events, when I do tours for the public, we break out the gear, right? Because everyone likes that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Hey, I saw that
I'm
on
not sure.
TV. I see it in person.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I don't know whether you know. Have you ever watched Monty Python?
Yeah, of
You know,
course.
a
Yes.
plummy comedy show. Well, they have a clip where they're in a hospital and the doctor says, "How's everything going here?" And he says, "Oh, really well. We have all the machines that go bing and light up." You know, and I think every time I see that or I hear that, I think paranormal because everyone likes the machines that go bing. You know, so
Yeah,
Mhm.
everybody. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Like, I'm not trying to down or dog people who sell this stuff, but I mean, like, there are so many like these people who like will vend this stuff, and because it's been on a TV show or says
yep,
ghost hunting tool on it. It gives them
yes,
the right to upcharge like $250. It's just
yeah, absolutely,
ridiculous. You can get the same
absolutely,
thing, right? You can get a K2 on a
yeah,
ghost page on a ghost store for
yeah,
like
yeah,
$70, but you can go to
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Walmart and get the
yeah,
same exact thing for $15.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
that's
Like
true.
there are people I know that there's some people that take advantage. There are
Oh yeah.
other people that I think are trying. Like the gentleman I was talking about here with Spirit Tech, his gears were, as I said, some of the best I've found. There's no loose wiring. It's all solid circuit boards. There's nothing loose. It's you can feel quality, but his
Yeah, for
prices
sure.
are quite decent. Like for example, how much music boxes people spend, you know, 400 or 500 on a music box.
Oh my god, it's
The music
ridiculous.
box he makes are about
Crazy.
220, I think,
That's good.
230, right?
All right.
Australian, right? But it's not just a music box. You can actually use an SD card, change the music in it. You can put in news reports and all sorts of things, which you can't
Oh,
do with a lot of them. On the other hand, we've seen he's had a music box sent to him for repair from someone had picked up. I'm not sure whether it was the US or the UK. It was overseas.
yeah.
When his engineer opened it to repair it, I laughed because they paid for 450 something like that. What was inside it, and it played one song. What was inside it was when you get those musical cards and you open them up and they start playing a song,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
One of the little devices that are in those cards was inside this box. So a $3-4 card in a bit of plastic cover is what they were charging 450 for.
Oh my god,
So
that's ridiculous.
it's absolutely disgusting,
Oh, it
So
is.
Yeah.
Like,
you got to be careful where you get your gear in the gear.
oh, for
You
sure.
do
People
get.
will definitely upcharge, like there's fake psychics out there, boys and girls, that will pretend that they can tell or speak to your loved ones, and
Yeah,
they're just cold guessing, and they're charging you like
exactly,
ridiculous amounts of
Right.
money. The most
exactly.
real mediums I've ever met refuse to charge you. It will just
Yeah,
like, hey, this person has something they want to tell you. I'm not going to charge you $100 to tell you this. They just
100%.
want you to
Right.
know, and that's the most beautiful
Exactly.
thing ever.
Yeah.
A few years, well, more than a few years back, a number of years back, in the States, we had this thing called the Vortex come out, and it was like
Oh, yeah.
a ghost box. It was a spirit box, and then it like blocked out like certain noises from the spirit box,
Yes.
and people were
Right.
charging $500 on
Oh, yeah.
almost
Too.
any given site for this thing. A
Yeah,
friend of
yeah, yeah.
mine who's a
Mhm.
total dork went and he
Yep.
took a spirit box, and then he
Yep.
took like a guitar pedal, and he took
Yeah, the
some
guitar
like
pedals. Yep.
musical shit, and for
Yep.
like $300 less, he did the
Yeah.
same thing. Boys and girls,
Absolutely.
Right.
research your stuff. Most of the stuff you
Yep.
could probably do if you have more internet knowledge than I do,
Yep.
which
Well,
isn't very much. But
well,
it's
yep.
really not that hard. Another thing, one of our viewers, Laura, brought up that really you can get stuff off of Temu and other apps
Absolutely.
pretty cheap. Phone
Yeah.
apps,
Mhm.
Bill.
Especially when
Phone
you're
apps.
starting out.
Your thoughts on phone apps as ghost hunting tools? What are your thoughts?
I'm not big on phone apps.
I'm not either, dude.
I don't really like phone apps, but and I'm always one. I'm not. I'm open minded. So
Right.
a friend of mine had one of the apps running, and I can't tell you what it was. And some of the things we were getting were actually pretty pretty interesting.
Yep.
Not that I, as I said, not that I would use apps as such, but we were on at an investigation at an old historic house not that long ago, and some of the things that were coming through were really interesting, and
Hmm.
so I give that credit. I mean, that that was interesting. The way I look at it is when you've got things that need sensors or devices that need sensors, and then they make an app for it, and they put it on your phone doesn't have those sensors. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So how's it reading?
I do know what you mean. That's why I'm so skeptical about the phone apps. So many people will swear. I'm like, dude, it's not you're not using a ghost box. You're just using a phone. I don't know, whatever it may be. One device that I will say, Bill, that I was always super skeptical about, and it proved me wrong, was the Avilius, or even the ghost box for that matter. There's been so many, like, way too coincidental. Like there's no way this would say this. So at which point, it would be paranormal.
I agree with you. Sometimes they do blow you away. I'll give you I got 2 examples for you, and they're both from Gettysburg. Right?
Nice. Oh, even better. I can relate. Go ahead.
There you go. Even better. First time I went there, my mate had an Ovilus, an old one.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many words it had there. It didn't have a lot. We were at in Fairfield there, just outside of Gettysburg. So Fairfield, I don't know whether you know, when the Confederates were retreating, Fairfield was one of the places where they dumped their dead and dying.
Mm-hmm.
So this house that became the hotel or the inn had a lot of dead or injured Confederates. There was a mass grave out the back at one point.
Nice.
So there's a lot of energy there. And first night we got there, so it's been a long day. We drove in. We didn't get there till like 11 o'clock at night. And there was my mate and his wife and myself, and we were staying upstairs. And he goes, "You want to go and have a wander around?" And so we went around and we found one of the lounge areas to sit down, and we turned the Ovilus on. And it started talking. It went, I don't know the order, but it went battle, shot, killed, wounded, injured, fight, guns. It was everything to do with war.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. Anyway, same weekend, we were in the basement of the Jenny Wade house. So we had a bunch of other people with us this time. That first time I didn't have a voice recorder running. We were just sort of messing around. But this time we're down there, I had a camera running and a voice recorder running. And it's an old Ovilus, so it's probably only got 300, maybe 400 words. It wasn't like 4,000 or 2,000. I'd say it wasn't a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Turn it on. Now, I don't know whether you know the story of Jenny Wade. You would be there enough.
Yeah. She was the only civilian killed in the Battle of Gettysburg.
Yeah, while she was baking bread, etc. Well, we're down in the basement, and it's late. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. Turn this on, and it started saying, it said 20, which was, that's relevant. That's her age, right? Mm-hmm. Shot. Then it said bread.
Mm.
And then it's went quiet. And in that point of quiet for probably a minute or two, the smell of baking bread come through that basement.
Oh, that's freaking awesome, dude. That's great.
Well, it gets better, because then the thing said Jenny Wade.
Oh.
Right?
How would it know? How would it know?
How would it know? And it wouldn't be on there, right? And it said something else, which was, and I can't remember the dad's name, but I think afterwards that it actually said the dad's name as well. Right?
Wow.
For some reason, it was matched his name. I can't remember his name. To me, that was spot on. Like I've got that recording somewhere, and it's
experiences like that are what it was what keeps me going back and investigating the paranormal. This shit never gets old. Sometimes it gets boring, but it never gets old. There's always something new to be like, oh my god, that's it. That and that. Like, holy shit, that just happened. It's absolutely, it's awesome.
It's those little nuggets. Those nuggets,
Yeah, those little experiences that we have that are perfect. I had an experience with an Avilius. I was at a private residential case. I knew the guy. He's a friend of mine, and I was invited. He had so it was a duplex, but up and down, so 2 apartments, 1 building. Right? Knew the whole history. Knew the whole family that lived there. They knew from like when the house was built until when they moved in. Every person that ever lived there. Right? So we're on the 2nd floor. We're in the infants' room where a lot of the activity has been happening. A lot of people like see an older lady, right? So seeing an older lady like leaning over the crib with the baby, or like they'll walk in with the baby and put the baby to bed, and they'll see an older woman in the rocking chair, or the rocking chair would start moving on its own. I was there doing an interview with the guy, and I'm like, like, what's that noise, dude? He's like, you hear that? I'm like, yeah. He's like, come on with me. I'll try. And we open the door, and the fucking rocket chair just started to what the fuck? So we're in this
That's
room.
awesome.
It is. It's great, dude. We're in this room. It's myself. It's the owner of the house, and it's my other two investigators, and we're standing in a circle, and we're trying the Avilius. This is my first try with the Avilius. I was completely skeptical. I'm like, it's a box. It's shooting out like environmental what? I'm like, whatever. So it says a bunch of things, and we're saying that we're bullshitting, and then it says Mary. And my other investigator, she's like, buddy, is there a Mary in the history? Where's the Mary? And I go through my notes. I'm flipping through there's not a single person. Like, I don't know. There's nobody named Mary that ever lived here. Maybe it was a friend. Maybe, I don't know. And about 30 seconds of silence goes by, and Rich, the homeowner, he says to me, hey, buddy, my Nana's name, her name was Mary. And I'm like, oh, well, did she pass? He's like, oh, yeah. She's been dead for like 20 years. And we're talking for a bit. And then it says grandmother. And
yeah.
Son of a bitch, huh? I guess you just proved me wrong. And then, like, within like a minute of saying grandmother, I got an EVP. It's of an older lady to let the baby sleep. And it sounds like it's it's clear as day.
Awesome.
And it sounds like his grandmother's standing in the room with us. It's that kind of shit that blows my mind, dude. Absolutely. Guy, I'm gonna throw it at you. What you got for this guy?
I just want to know, how can people contact you and whatnot if they have any questions or want to
or their house is haunted in Australia?
Events, or or if their house is haunted in Australia.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They can call Ghostbusters. No, sorry.
Right.
If you look up the Australian Paranormal Society on the internet, you'll find the Facebook page, and send us a message on there. I also have my phone number on there too, so you can message me or call me. I tend to if I'm busy, I won't answer the phone, so leave a message, or as I said, on the Facebook page, send us a message and I'll get back to you. Or we also have an email on there. You can email us and we'll get back to you. Or get someone to get back to you. That's the best way. But if you look at our page, if you're interested in any of the events, so some of the other events we do, which I didn't speak about earlier, we do lectures, different sorts of lectures. We do, if people request training, we'll train them in certain areas, whatever they need. We also do a couple of presentations. One's called Voices of the Dead, which is where we present some of the recordings from Amanda's work, because it's not all to do with cases. We have different people coming through. Amanda and I, we actually lost 3 children.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Still miscarriages, but funny enough, they come through, and they'll come through and they say hello, mummy, and this sort of thing.
That's amazing,
and
dude.
it's beautiful, mate. So, but we have a presentation called Voices of the Dead. We actually have what we call sessions. So we have as the new ones come through, we create a new session. So I think we're up to about session 5 at the moment. We also do a seance night. So there you go. That's interesting. Which is we call it the electronic seance night, but we do some of the older stuff. So we do some actual seance. We do some table tipping, different sorts of things, Black Mirror scrying. But then we go into doing using the equipment Amanda uses and making contact. We also have, as I said, Amanda's a medium, but we also have some other mediums that come along, and if they read someone, they do a reading for them there and then. So we do a bunch of different stuff. We do a great thing called Paranormal Days, where we have a full day from I think it's 10 till 4:30, where we have a bunch of different speakers come in, on UFOs, ghosts, whatever, come through, and so we have about 3 or 4 speakers, and we also provide lunch, and we have we do a bunch of different stuff. So there's some of our books.
I wanted to throw that up there, Bill, for you before we wrapped up. Bill is an author, a celebrated author, if you will.
So those first 2 books there, the grey one is about Arradale Asylum. Some of the stories we had from there. The second one is based on the walking tour of Melbourne, which tells you about the different locations. And then you've got a couple of our journals. There, different types of journals. That lady, that face in the green, that's actually my wife. And her house made cover for us. But she has apart from the journal, she has 3 books out. 2 of them are what's called From the Mind to the Medium, Volume 1 and 2, which teaches you about psychic abilities and different psychic phenomena and how to develop that. And then she has another one which is about the stories of her life. She was a nurse, and all the things she went through from a young age through to when the book was written.
That's awesome, dude.
Then we have a bunch of different journals and things. So
yeah. Oh, that's cool. That sounds good. So, guys, you can check that out. That's on Amazon.com. Very easy to find. Just type in this guy's name, Bill Tabone. Tabone? Am I saying it right, Bill?
Tabone's fine, yeah.
Bill
it's Maltese. It's my father was Maltese. My mum was Australian. And so we had a Maltese who were pretty stubborn, and then we had a redhead, which was pretty stubborn.
Oh, yeah, we're very stubborn people. I hear you.
Yeah, there you go. She actually, funny thing is, we did a science night last Wednesday, and my parents don't normally come through. I get little things off them, but I had a medium there, and she came through really strong. And little things like my mother would not eat meat with if it was a little bit of red inside. She wouldn't. Had to be burnt almost. And this woman goes, she didn't like eating. Her meat had to be burnt. She goes, oh, yes, she did. Little things. It made me laugh. But yeah.
It's these little experiences, Bill, that really make up what we experience.
My mum had a little problem with her foot. It described down to detail what was wrong with her foot. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But getting back to what it was, the surnames, we just say Tabone, but it's in old terms, it's Tabone.
Oh, Tabone.
But T-bone is what most people call it. So, just like the steak.
It's not terrible. Tim, Bill, I'd like to thank you for joining us. It's been a very quick hour interview. I could sit here and pick your brain for hours because you're not only like an investigator from the other side of the world. What time is it? What time is it where you guys are at right now, Guy?
What time is it? It is currently 1:16 p.m.
In the afternoon.
1:16 in the afternoon.
And you guys are in the summertime down there, yes? Or what? Do you have a season?
I think I just actually my wife just turned the air cooler on, so the air conditioning on. So you guys have got snow. I heard you talking about that,
dude. Like almost 4 feet of snow out there. It's killing me.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I've been seeing all the photos, like even in Gettysburg, the snow there. I'd love to see it, but I mean, a lot of people, that live in it, they, takes a toll on you. I bet
it certainly takes a toll on the emotions and my outdoorism because I can't really go outdoors.
You can't. Yeah, exactly. But I'd love to see it. But yeah, we're in summer at the moment, so we're baking slowly, but it hasn't been too bad the last couple of days. It's been pretty good.
That's good. That's good for you. I look forward to the summertime here in New England. And if you ever here in the States, Bill, give me a shout. I'm in Rhode Island. We'll go to Fort Adams. It's like there's so many places here in Rhode Island that I could take you to investigate for nothing.
New England is a goal of mine.
For sure. We're a hotbed, dude.
Place. When the leaves change color and that sort of thing, and you go, oh man, that's.
Dead people everywhere. Dead people everywhere, for sure. Tune in next week, boys and girls. Tune in next week as we welcome paranormal investigator Tim Conwell. He's going to join us. We're going to talk ghosts and dead people and all that good shit. Next, not this Thursday because we're taking a break because all the weather's killing us. But tune in next Thursday, 3 Dudes Brews. We're going to do the last call and talk everything and nothing and beer, of course. Tune in to 3dudesbrews.com for episode 15 we just recorded. We had 16. We're doing 17 next week and 18 in a few weeks. We're going to have a bevy of beer material coming out for you in the very near future. So stay tuned for all this good stuff. For Bill Tabone, or Tabone, if you will, for Jive has been Buddy, the Ghost and the Goat. Have a good week, folks. Thank you so much. Go Red Sox.
Thank you.
That's all I have to say. Have a good week, folks. Peace.
All right.
Cheers.
Da, 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 da.